At the peak of the poker boom, this man...
Give me a $5 footlong. $5 footlong.
And there's the 5! Mizrachi takes the lead.
Was one of the most feared poker stars in the entire world. But today, you don't hear much about Michael Mizrachi, and when you do hear something, unfortunately, most of the time, it's about more financial troubles. So what happened to Michael Mizrachi, and how did he lose almost everything he had? We're gonna get into all of it, but before we do, please make sure to subscribe to Poker Boom if you haven't already. We release new videos every single Monday, so hit that bell if you don't want to miss any episodes. Alright, here we go. Michael David Mizrachi, known as The Grinder for his tenacious and relentless playing style, was born on January 5th, 1981 in Miami, Florida, into a family that would come to be synonymous with poker. His older brother Robert is also a respected poker professional, and together the brothers helped cultivate a family legacy in the poker world. According to Mizrachi, his entire family loved to gamble.
Back in the days, kind of like we all became like, I wouldn't say sick, but like just love the gambling.
So his passion for poker was no surprise. He would eventually drop out of college, initially wanting to become a doctor to pursue the game full time. He started playing online poker when he was just 15 or 16 years old, and then went on to first make his name in low-limit cash games and small tournaments around Florida. But it wasn't long before he transitioned to higher stakes games, where his talent for reading opponents and his aggressive style made him stand out. By the early 2000s, Mizrachi began building a reputation as a player to watch, steadily grinding his way up the poker ranks. 2005 was Mizrachi's first big year. In that year alone, he finished 5th in the World Poker Tour World Poker Open at a table that also featured Daniel Negreanu and Scotty Wynn.
Calling Michael Mizrachi the Grinder is kind of an sort of contradictory term, because the way he plays poker is wee!
He also won over $1.8 million at the LA Poker Classic.
Yeah! Well, turn out the lights, the party's over. Michael Mizrachi is our champion.
And the Mizrachi gang is gonna mock.
Defeating a final table that included Ted Forrest and Eric Lindgren, and then tied the record of 7 money finishes at the 2005 World Series of Poker. By the end of that year, he had solidified his status as a legitimate poker star. And these wins catapulted him to fame and fortune, and he quickly became a fixture on the international poker circuit. His relentless, aggressive playing style, an approach that kept opponents guessing and often left them bewildered and confused, became his trademark. Mizrachi was known for being unafraid to push all in, even in high-pressure situations.
Mizrachi takes a huge hit. Oppenheim over $9 million now.
His success seemed unstoppable, and for a time, it really was. The Grinder was also a natural fit for the new televised poker scene, and his appearances on shows like High Stakes Poker and Poker After Dark helped to cement his celebrity status. He was a player who could not only win, but win with style, and his aggressive tactics made for great TV. 2010 was another instrumental year for Mizrachi. He achieved a feat that cemented his place in poker history. He won the $50,000 Poker Players Championship at the World Series of Poker, beating his brother Robert.
The river card is a 4, and that will end it. The Grinder has his gold.
It's a grinder tsunami.
Now, the Poker Players Championship is regarded as one of the most prestigious events in poker, requiring players to compete in a mixed game format that tests a wide range of poker skills. Mizrachi's victory earned him over $1.5 million and his first WSOP bracelet, a long-coveted prize that had eluded him for years.
Michael Mizrachi somehow reaches down in the depths of his soul and plays his very best poker.
And later that same year, he made the November 9 in the main event. He would go on to finish 5th and earn over $2.3 million. And to cap it off, he was named 2010 Poker Player of the Year in All In magazine. Mizrachi's success in 2010 led to poker announcer Norman Chad labeling it,
That's not the year of the Grinder. I don't know what the year of the Grinder is.
He had managed to accomplish in 1 year what most poker players could only dream of in a lifetime. But while Mizrachi was thriving at the poker table, his personal life and finances were in turmoil. Despite earning millions, he faced significant financial issues which would later become public knowledge. In early 2010, a federal tax lien in the amount of over $339,000 was filed against him for unpaid taxes related to his earnings from 2005 2005 to 2007. Mizrachi also had multiple residential properties in Florida foreclosed on, including a condominium that he owned with his brother Robert. At the time, poker pro Mark Levy was quoted as saying, "If you're in a $10,000 event every other week, that's $240,000 just for buy-ins, not to mention all of your expenses. There are plenty of guys I know who do well playing poker but still go through their money. Michael is one of these. He is still an outstanding player, so there's no need to worry. All he needs is one big prize and all will be settled."
Much money in the real estate market that couldn't even afford to pay you couldn't even pay your taxes, like $360,000.
But Mizrachi's financial problems stem not just from unpaid taxes, but also from high-stakes gambling, poor investments, and a lavish lifestyle. Like many poker pros who experience sudden wealth, Mizrachi found himself spending recklessly. Reports of gambling debts and personal loans surfaced, painting a picture of a man who lived as fast off the poker table as he did on it. And as his financial and legal troubles mounted, his performance at the poker table began to wane. While he remained a dangerous player and continued to play in high-stakes tournaments, he was no longer the dominant force he once was. His results became more sporadic, and though he managed to win a few notable tournaments after 2010, they were fewer and farther between. In 2018, he did make a brief return to the spotlight when he won his third Poker Players Championship at the WSOP, a remarkable accomplishment that showcased his enduring talent. And this win tied him with poker legend Phil Ivey for the most wins in that prestigious event. However, it was clear that Mizrachi's glory days were behind him. The poker landscape had shifted, with new, younger players dominating the game. Today, Michael Mizrachi remains active in the poker world, but he no longer occupies the superstar status he once enjoyed. He continues to play in tournaments and even just this year won his 6th WSOP bracelet, surpassing his brother Robert. But otherwise, he's largely flown under the radar in recent years, participating in smaller buy-in events and focusing more on cash games rather than large-scale tournaments. Sources state that these days he spends most of his time playing online poker and caring for his 3 children. Mizrachi has also been known to take on a mentorship role, offering poker coaching and helping newer players develop their skills. He occasionally streams his gameplay, engaging with a loyal fan base that remembers his glory days. And despite his financial missteps and personal struggles, he remains respected in the poker community for his contributions to the game and his undeniable poker skill. And through it all, Mizrachi's legacy in the poker world remains intact. His 3 Poker Player Championship titles are proof of his skill and his tenacity, and his impact on the game continues to be felt, on the felt, and off of it. So though he may no longer be the unstoppable force he once was, Michael Mizrachi's legacy continues to grind on.
Am I gonna die with my money?
And that's all we have for this one. Thank you for watching another episode of Poker Boom. What player from the Poker Boom era should we cover next? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.